must have touched. It's not there.
I hate to exercise. I will not pretend that I enjoy exercising. Like Maddie, I also joined Curves. And it occurred to me later on that the biggest thing that I liked about Curves was the music. That they rolled tapes, and the tape that I liked the most was the 70s music. And we would hear Dancing in the Street, Margaret and the Vandellas, and Tracks of My Tears, and just all kind of great music, and I could really get in the groove with that. So, as I transition to a healthier lifestyle, I want to improve my exercise program. That will include walking and dancing, and by doing so, my expectation or my goal is to drop a few pounds and just continue to live to the very last breath. When I grew up, all of the elderly people around me were sick people. Until I started to work with the Council on Aging and working with older adults who were retired executives who were living well into their 80s and 90s, I had not met people who were older and well. I want to be an example of aging well, like Miss Birdie, and there were two women at the church on Sunday, well into their 90s, very vibrant women, a 100-year-old woman, very vibrant. I want to be that example for the people around me, not just my own children, but I do take cues from my oldest daughter, who just kind of grew taller, if not wider, but she dances a lot, she walks a lot, and watches her diet. That's the kind of person that I want to be as I continue to get older. So it's exercise, 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 and thinking positive thoughts.
Well, how does your health in your community affect your food choices and things on that line?
Food choices for me, I really, really like greens. Okay, my health issues have to do with high blood pressure, so I have to watch my salt intake. I don't add salt, and I've noticed in all of the fast foods, like right down to a salad, you can taste the salt in it. You know, once you kind of tune into it, you can taste salt in fast food. You taste salt in cakes that are out there to be purchased. So tuning into what has salt in it and what doesn't, and most of the products that we eat have some type of salt. So I'm aware of that. I've also been recently equipped with a CPAP machine for snoring, and that essentially, the snoring comes as a result of the belly fat. And I've been well advised by my doctor that as I continue to use the machine on a regular basis, it's continuous airflow as I sleep. I used to snore so badly I could wake myself. I could hear myself snoring. You know, that's not good. You can hear yourself snoring. And then there was a little something like a little layer of fat maybe, just like, I'm like, oh no. But at any rate, I have a machine. I had been diagnosed 8 years ago, but I didn't like the machine because of the cold air. Now they have a new improved version of the CPAP machine, and you get the warm, moist air that flows through. And as I talk to people, I think that's the biggest issue that I recognize now. A number of people in this country suffer from sleep apnea, and they don't know it. It is definitely a silent killer. I was talking with the young lady at the bank, and she said her husband, who is in his early 30s, was diagnosed. But what prompted him to go on and get diagnosed was the athlete who had an acute heart attack and died. And it wasn't that he wasn't in good physical condition, he was, but he suffered with sleep apnea. And because of that, her husband was prompted. And because of her testimony, I decided, you know, I better get with the program and stay with it. Because I am a primary caregiver. If something happened to me in the middle of the night, I have no family, you know, to check on me and, you know, make sure that I'm revived. And that something might be having a stroke. So, you know, for that reason, Like, I am a strong proponent of using the machine, getting diagnosed and using the machine. And once again, it all comes back to exercise. Exercise and diet will bring, will lower the necessity will reduce the necessity to use the machine on a regular basis. So, if you snore, you know somebody who snores, and MedHealth has the most wonderful center. I would highly recommend Dr. Saru because he is, well, he's just very gentle. He's gentle. He has every degree you can name, and he can get on top of the problem like nobody can. Just a wonderful bedside manner. I had to go in for 2 sleep studies, so.
I'm not cutting you off, but I told you I was on the CPAP, but I lost 15 pounds. When I lost that, I didn't have any trouble anymore.
So you took yourself off, basically.
But, well,
Yeah.
basically, when the last time I went back, he said I wasn't having any trouble. So,
And that's a good
keep
thing.
the weight off.
It also, that continuous airflow is supposed to help you, your metabolism work more efficiently too. And
And you get the sleep
initially
on.
I was told that it would definitely help you to lose weight. So I'm waiting. I think it has some real possibilities.
Any questions for anyone? Okay. Now, let's talk about some other things. I want to say this, and I don't need any conversation. I'm letting you know now. I don't need comments. It just needs to be said. All of us, myself included, have displayed behavior that was not our best this week. Part of this I blame on myself because one of the things that was not done this year that is usually done, we have a pre-tour meeting. And because of all the stuff that I was doing at work, with searches, getting new summer school stuff, I felt that enough of us had been on the tour not to have the meeting. Unfortunately, that was not the case. From now on, there will be a pre-tour meeting. It will be mandatory. I'm telling you now, next year we're going to Hilton Head in the Beaufort area. I will send out the cost, partial itinerary, the date that your registration payment is due in full. And if we are able to procure funding to offset the costs in any way, shape, or form, then that particular amount will be refunded to you if we can reduce the cost. That being said, I have made assessments of participants of this tour. And before I go any further, I want to say this. The purpose of this tour is for the participants to learn about the things that is in this state that is relevant and part of our culture and our history. It is also to gain knowledge of the things that Clemson University, the different programs that Clemson University has going on in the state down in Charleston. It is for us to gain information that we can take back to our community, either replicate programs. Better than replicating programs is to let our kids know that there are opportunities out here that you don't even know about and how to navigate a system of education from the time you start first grade to the time you get out, so that you can attend college, so that you can be the engineer that's heading up a restoration institute or a windmill, a wind turbine, these types of things. We must always remember, first and foremost, and I cannot reiterate this enough, we are representatives of Clemson University. There are people on this tour who are here for various reasons. We have faculty, we have staff, we have community members, we have business people. There are people here who serve on boards and commissions and committees that you have no idea about. There's a reason I had the formal dinner. It's not formal where you dress up. That dinner is strategic because that is where we can get together with key people. Yes, I know that somebody may think, well, it's just my mom, and it's just my dad, and it's just my cousins. Let me tell you one thing. That mom, that dad, that cousin is important to some of the people who are in this room on this tour. Connections are made. Unfortunately, it has been reported back to me by people who came to our formal dinner. They were offended. They could not believe some of the things that were said of and to. I will not tolerate this. I have put too much into this. This is under Pan-African Studies. So for those of you who do not realize it, Pan-African Studies is not hanging by a thread. It is hanging by a hair. In this budget environment, they will cut whatever they want. This program that was started out as something for us to know something was adopted by Pan-African Studies because ABLE feels that this is something that is needed. This is outreach by Pan-African Studies. I will not have people who can benefit the students, our business people, our community people. I will not tolerate this. I appreciate those of you who have stood by this program. And if you don't want to stand by it again, I understand, but it will not go by the wayside. We have made great connections. We have received funding. I had to contemplate taking a break, but I will not risk not receiving more funding because of doing that. Some of you will be contacted, and you will be told you will not be allowed to return on the Clemson University Pan-African Studies, Black Falcon Staff Association, Low Country Cultural Tour. You will not be the first. You definitely probably won't be the last. But, again, this can't be tolerated. This is not it. Like I said, we have all said and done things that was not on our best behavior. Until I received comments outside of this group as to how people were offended and how they couldn't believe things that were said, I had to make a choice. Excuse me. And this is a choice that has to be made. Okay. Tomorrow morning, I know that usually me, Maddie, and Rhonda are early risers. Tomorrow you all must get up. At 9:30, you need to be completely out of this house. At 9:30, I will make a sweep to make sure everything that we have put here is taken care of. Beds do not have to be stripped. They will take care of that, but I don't want the beds left unmade. I am going to do assignments. Me, Abe, and Maddie will be in the kitchen. Jackie and Bertie, you're to do the upstairs bathrooms. You're to collect everything out of there as far as, there'll be a box out here, and that's to put all the things that we bring in, all the cleaners, the soaps,